My name is Neary. I'm running for Township Commissioner in the 4th Ward, and I just wanted to give you a brief overview of my life here in Upper Chichester. My wife and I and 3 boys moved here in 1985. We did all the regular stuff with 3 boys. We did Boy Scouts and any sport you want to name. In 1989, I was elected a commissioner. In 93, I lost a re-election bid, and then in 2001, my wife passed away. In 2009, I was re-elected to the office of commissioner, and I've served since. In those 12 years, we haven't raised taxes for the township, and I'm very proud of that. And I'd like to go briefly over some of the accomplishments we've done over the past few years. One of the things I've been most proud of is the fact of my relationship with the police department. I was put in charge as the liaison, if you would, between the police department and the Board of Commissioners a number of years ago. And over the past 5 or 6 years, we've done a lot of work with improving the police department in terms of giving them more protection. We had 2 canine dogs who were added about 4 years ago. Elo and Ringo. They've been an addition to the force and to the local community, as well as several other communities, plus the children love to see them at various events. We've had over $70,000 in grants that we've received through the police department over the last 4 years. And in 2019, they incorporated some de-escalation training in their repertoire. So they've really done a good job. The other thing we did that protects both the police and the residents are we added body cameras so that there isn't going to be any problem with identifying where issues have arisen when the police and the residents get involved. We also, about 3 years ago, added a second police officer as a school resource officer in the school district in cooperation with the school district, which enhances the safety in the school. It doesn't probably answer all of the questions that need to be answered, but it certainly enhances the safety of the students. One of the other things we did in the past few years is add cameras to all of the major intersections in town. Those cameras have helped not only our jurisdiction, but the Wilmington jurisdiction and surrounding jurisdictions in apprehending people who have committed crimes. We also have saved a fairly large amount of money with people who have hit poles and taken them out and then hit and run. And we were able to capture their license plate and get reimbursement from the insurance companies. So one of the areas that I've been involved with almost for the entire 12 years that I've been on the board since 2009 is administration. One of the things that we have done is to enhance the accounting function in the office. While it's not an exciting thing, it certainly makes it a lot easier to track payments, to have some separation of duties with people. We were able to get a part-time resident who lives in the town, who is a former CPA, who is doing a lot of the work for us and getting our accounting system up and running. We've enhanced it to the point where the checks are run every other week so we can take advantage of discounts and that we can process payments in an orderly fashion. We've also, over the past 12 years, enhanced our bond rating so that we recently went out and took a large note to fully fund our pensions, both for the police and the non-uniform workers in the township, the Teamsters. We also funded their OPEB, which is their post-retirement benefits. Very few communities in the county have done that, and we have found that we are able to invest that money and get a better rate of return than we were when we were paying them out of the day-to-day funds. So we hope that that will strengthen our position, and as I said, it enhanced our bond rating so that we were able to borrow the money at a fairly low price. One of the things that we do under administration is seek grants. Now, it's not directly under the Department of the Administration, but it's part and parcel of our duties. And over the past 2 or 3 years, we've received over $1.5 million in grants to do things like the Chi Avenue landscaping, to do stormwater improvements on the Jennifer Basin, and things of that nature. One of the things we also have done in the administrative department is enhanced our visibility, both on the web with a Facebook page, certain improvements in terms of visibility and making it better known to the community what's going on. I think there's been a lot more communication in terms of getting the notice out as to what is going on in the township, and especially with the crisis with COVID, we were able to maintain services at the same high level by moving some people around and by making things work in a safe manner, both for the residents who came into the building and for those the people who are working inside by changing their schedules, by moving their schedules around and making them a lot more flexible. One of the things we did in administration as well is we expanded the cable access so that people could view the meetings, especially during COVID. They could dial into the meetings to watch them. They could participate in the meetings if they so chose to by calling in. And we've enhanced also our online presence in the sense that all of our records, or most of our records, are available now, especially records such as resolutions that are passed, ordinances that are passed, and also like our zoning regulations are posted, so people have more accessibility without having to come into the office as often. And hopefully we can answer a lot of questions without the interaction. We're always happy to see you, but it's sometimes the hours are a little shorter when people are working, that they can get the information they need online. In the recreation department, we ended up hiring a new director of recreation. We have also implemented a master parks plan that we are currently developing in the hopes of getting facilities up and running for use throughout the township. The director has been doing a good job in my estimation, and I think most of the residents that have interactions with him are very pleased with his demeanor and his ability. We've increased revenue in terms of the rentability of some of our facilities, and I believe that some of the enhancements have, done a lot for improving the community. He also incorporated many of the older items that had been in use, things like the Meet Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, all of those things that kids look forward to and that were just carryovers from the previous director of recreation. We're looking forward to doing a master plan at CVL to make it a park that can be used by more people throughout the year. One of the things that the rec director did bring into the township was the advent of pickleball, which has become a huge hit up at the township and seems to be something that's growing. For those of you who don't know, it's a cross between tennis and paddleball. It's a larger racket with a soft ball that is and same format going over in a net back and forth. And it's generally played with 4 people, 2 to a side. And every time I've been up there and watched people, they seem to be having a great fun. And while it's competitive, it seems pretty friendly at the same time. I'd like to touch base on our Public Works Department. These guys do a fabulous job, not only with trash collection, with the day-to-day things, but especially during snowstorms or ice storms, when they're out there, when most of us want to be just snug in our homes. These guys are out there really doing a great job in terms of getting the snow removed, getting salt down when it ices up. It's never been a department that I've been in charge of, but I think they're a department that really does a great job. We're currently reevaluating some route options so that we can increase services. I know a lot of us end up with our trash collecting a couple days late if there's a holiday, if they can't squeeze it in on the day before. So we're looking at reevaluating some of our services there. But the big thing is we have been able to continue those services with Public Works at the same levels without increasing taxes. So one of the big areas of expense is maintaining roads within the township. We are intersected by a lot of state roads that we don't have any control over, but we have tried to expand the number of roads that are getting paved every year. When I came on the board in 2010, after being elected in 2009, we were still only spending $100,000 a year on road surfacing. We increased that amount to somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000 a year every year since then, but we've been catching up. When I came on the board, every ward was getting $80,000, and that seems fair, except for the fact that the fourth ward, the one I represent, has 26% of the roads. So in agreement with the other four board members, our ward now receives 26% of the road dollars. So we've improved some of the roads. There's still a lot of roads that need to be done. The average lifespan for a road is 25 to 30 years. So some roads we try to, especially if they're major roads in a development, we try to get them done as quickly as possible because they get more wear and tear. But we are working at getting every street in the township paved, within the next 10 to 12 years. And then the whole process will start again. Planning has been an issue that's really been something that we've worked very, very hard on over the past few years. And I think people can see some of the improvements that have been made. The signage is better. I know that seems like a minor thing, but the signage is clear. It incorporates things that are from the neighborhood. Then we are developing in conjunction with Wawa, the Gibbons Park that we are reestablishing so that it looks even cleaner and neater than it did before. We'll have the backing sign and will be enhanced. Then you go down the corridor down towards 95, closer to what's called Linwood Heights, and you see the sidewalks that have been put in. We were able to get grants, as I mentioned before, that help pay for that. And once again, we've done this without increasing taxes, so we've done a good job with that. One of the things we did do is hire a professional developer because we need to enhance the tax base without adding new homes. We were hoping that the 322 corridor project would be moving along a little quicker than it is because we thought that we would be able to perhaps attract some new businesses along the 322 corridor. That has not happened yet, and we believe that the 322 corridor is going to be delayed a little bit, but we are working, regardless of that, we are working at enhancing some projects within the township. One of the things I do know that we got involved with was the Heart and Soul. With some help from the township, from Miss Kelly, we developed that mostly with volunteer support from the community. And they have done an excellent job identifying things that people want to see in the community. And we are hoping that, and that was all funded by a grant, so we're hoping that we can continue to expand that effort as well. We did hire a designer planner who looks at some of our projects to see that they fit into the kind of the master scheme of what's going on in the township. Finally, we really want to enhance the town center, which, I know the Wawa is an inconvenience with it being developed, but we think it's going to enhance the look of that intersection. It also enhanced the fact that we were able to get Wawa as part of the plan to make street improvements and traffic signal improvements. All right, I mentioned some of the grants that we've received in the past few years, which was totaled about $1.5 million. $300,000 was for the Chi Avenue streetscape, which was a CDBG grant, which is administered through the county. We received $90,000 for street signs, neighborhood signs, and park signs so that we enhanced the look of the community by updating those signs. We received $650,000 for the Chi Avenue Streetscape multimodal program. This was also from the DCED, the Department of Community and Economic Development. We received $10,000 from PICO to enhance the Johnson Avenue Park. We also did a master park and recreation plan, and we totaled about $80,000 on that particular grant. We received $90,000 to do stormwater improvements down at Bergdahl Park. Another thing we got was a $25,000 grant for the Boothwyn Town Center. One of the larger ones that we've received over the past few years is over $100,000 in recycling grants. That basically is a list of some of the ones that we have gotten, and that's based on a lot of people's efforts and a lot of good work. Larger than that, we received $60,000 for Heart and Soul as a grant to do the program that we were talking about earlier, and we received some technical assistance for planning services for the Linwood Heights project, which we hope to enhance that area to increase the market value of homes down there. Part of the $70,000 in grants that we received was a $20,000 grant that we received from Walmart over the past few years for tasers and that sort of thing. And we also got a grant about $25,000 that allowed us to purchase a drone, which actually enhances the safety of the officers in a barricade situation, and has also allowed the officers to do flyovers when they're looking for a lost person, which they've had once or twice, or to evaluate an area that seems to be a problem area. Another item with the police is we have upgraded the cameras in the cars as well, so that they can get a wider view of the activity as the officer gets out of the car. And then finally, we received $20,000 in recycling performance grants to do a study to make the routes more contiguous. So very briefly, I wanted to ask you for your support on November 2nd. There are a number of ways that you can help, obviously by voting for me. Registration to vote, the last day to register is October 18th of this year. You can go on to votespa.com and register to vote. You can also, if you so desire, request a mail-in ballot or an absentee, either one that you want to go with. If you're out of town or you're physically not able to, you might want to apply for an absentee ballot. But if you just want to vote by mail, you can do that as well. I look forward to seeing everybody November 2nd, and I hope you will consider voting for me on that date. As always, residents can vote at the Ogden Fire Company on November 2nd. They open up at 7 a.m. and they close at 8 p.m. I will be there all day. I look forward to seeing everybody. I will probably have a mask on because of my son Kevin's condition for the most part. But as I said, I look forward to seeing everyone. If you're interested in finding out more information, my website is josephwneary.com. My Facebook page is Joseph W. Neary. Going back to voting, I will also be posting a list of the streets in each of the precincts. I know that's always a question. People come in and they're asked whether they're in 4-1 or 4-2. So I will have a spreadsheet on the website if you're interested. I know you can also check your registration to see where you are registered, whether you're 4-1 or 4-2. But as a benefit, I'll put that. I'm also going to post what the ballot is going to look like. My name is is the first name on the second page. If you're looking for that specifically, that's where it's going to be. But it is a 3-page ballot. And you'll see that the first page is largely judges, county council, and some local races, for example, school board and tax collector. But the commissioner's race is alone on the second page, and then the third page is judicial retentions. So I will post that as well.